your spot?
I think so.
Hi.
I was just waiting for her to lead.
I'm Amanda from ROCKPILE Off-grid Homestead.
I'm Corey, funnily enough from the same place.
And today is the day we've been waiting for.
Shadecloth Day.
Get the shade cloth on our shade house. We've got the roller shade cloth there.
Yeah, it's all ready to go. We have been putting it off. It has had some very hot days and very windy. And because we haven't done this before, we kind of want no wind. So this morning is beautiful and not too hot. It's a lovely day. Yep.
Lovely day for working out on the homestead.
Oh, it is. Got Dozer Dog, he's holding up the tripod down there. Hippo is, Hippo, it's chicken food. Hippo's just finishing off the rest of the chicken feed.
I don't know if that's good for us.
Will she start laying eggs?
I don't want to eat her.
All right, so what's the plan, Mrs. RP?
We kind of have a plan.
We do. We
know we need the shade cloth up on the shade house frame. It's going to be a combination of ladders, scaffolds, rolling, there's a pole.
Oh, and most important, communication. Are you ready?
More than just swearing. Can't swear now.
No, we can't swear now.
Anyway. Okay. So just tell us what's first steps.
Okay, so we're going to get the shade cloth on that bit of aluminium pole there, and we're going to sit it on top of the scaffold. I've got some clamps to clamp the pole to the scaffold so it doesn't kind of move. Mrs. RP is going to be up on the scaffold, and I'm going to be on the ladders. Hopefully we're kind of going to drag the shade cloth out, like unroll it to the end.
And it will go all completely smoothly, no problems.
Of course it will. I mean, this is going to be a very short video. This will be done in like 40 seconds. So, all right.
We might as well just start.
Yeah.
Come with us. Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
So that pole goes all the way across.
All the way across.
Have we got clamps?
We've got 2 clamps.
Well, why don't we start with me climbing up there or something?
You get up there and I'll pass the pole up.
Alright, pole.
Okay. Pole.
We're not taking the plastic off down there.
Well, I don't want to just yet, but...
Because we want to keep the shade cloth off all this debris and sand and little bits of
all this stuff, because it'll all stick to it.
And then we, maybe I get it out.
Alright.
Okay. Oh goodness. Great.
Thanks, Dad. Got me these couple of clamps and a few other ones like it. We're going to put them to the test.
They came in handy right away.
Yeah, fresh out of the packet.
They can't go back now.
Can't go back.
Plastic's coming off.
We don't go back, we only go forwards.
White shade cloth, 50%. UV stabilised. That's what we chose to go with.
Yes, I need you just to roll off about 1 metre.
Yep.
And just kind of throw it over to me. Are you comfy up? That's it, perfect. Okay, I'm going to pull, you just... Oh, stop it. Just posing like Priscilla. Okay. I did say it started off easy, but that that slight bit of wind makes a massive difference. Not in a good way. Okay, so you come down here on the ladder, right? I'll go on that front edge on the ladder, and we'll put up that spiky strip as we go.
Okay.
And you can just come here,
And I'll go along this edge.
hook it on, and then I'll hook it on there as I'm putting the spiky strip down, and we'll just work down, put a ladder width at a time or something.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? And then we'll get to the close to the end, and then we'll unroll it down to the ground,
Yeah.
cut it off, and then we'll just roll that bit up and put some zip ties or something on it to hold it, and then we'll finish that off. How does that sound? How does that sound? Does that sound like a plan? Oh, it's plan. What are we up to? B or C? I don't know now. I forgot to push record on one of the conversations we had, so I think we're up to plan B. All right. So this is a close look at our spiky strip. Hopefully that's focusing on there. It's carpet smooth edge strip. So, and the spikes are very spiky. So what a plan is to have a little bit of foam here, and as Amanda and I pull the shade cloth tight over the strip, we just use the foam to push the shade cloth on. Look at that.
Instead of our handsies.
Because it's quite sharp. Feel that?
Sharp.
Sharp.
Confirmed.
All right. So that hopefully will hold it on.
Alright. Is that mine?
Alright, so we're just using these little packers, just window packers from Bunnings. They come in different thicknesses, and we're just going to screw it on over the shade cloth into the wood every probably half a metre, just to help brace the shade cloth until we get the 20 by 40 little timber strip on it to hold it, and then we'll remove these as we go along. So a little bit of extra insurance.
Today we are back under the shade house.
Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it? Gosh. Still looks the same, but it looks pretty good.
Yeah, so that was not last week, the week before that we did this first section.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like
Yeah.
the next little installment.
And I will say that we've had quite a few windy nights here, and we were a bit worried how the shade cloth was going to go, just with those little clips and stuff, but the wind didn't really affect it. It probably only like bellied up in the middle, because it's a 4 metre wide span and there's no fixings in the middle of the shade cloth. Probably only went up maybe 100 mil.
Maybe, if that, no.
Maybe we
pulled it pretty tight.
Only, yeah, small amount. And we had some pretty strong winds. So yeah, we're pretty happy with
Because
that.
there wasn't much uplift.
No.
Probably like a tiny bit there, but the wind kind of just went over it a bit like that.
Yeah.
So pretty happy with that.
Yeah.
It's a lovely area, good amount of shade.
Yep.
It's not even finished yet, and we're pretty excited about the potential for this area. So today, because when we did this first section, we realised that we wanted to fix the second bit along this timber kind of above us here a bit different, because we weren't sure if that carpet strip things would actually hold both down, because it grips it, but it doesn't, like the spikes are quite short, and if there's any lift,
we were worried it was
would
going to come off.
So we want to make sure that that join is really fixed down well, because we're not going to be able to get back to it.
No.
Right, so what we decided to do was...
What did we decide to do?
Wrap it under timber and then screw the timber down onto the top of that timber.
Yes.
Right?
Correct.
And the timber we chose to do it, we're going to get like a wider timber.
Yeah, got a 140 by 45, and we're going to cut it into 30mm strips.
Yep.
And
it's just one of the more economical ways of
doing
it.
Just couldn't find.
Yeah, because the supply,
timber like a small little batten that we wanted to use.
It's the timber situation is a bit dire. So we're getting inventive, and we're getting a wider bit of timber, stripping it down.
Yep.
Corey will show you into like smaller battens, and we'll use that to secure it down and get the rest of our shadecloth on today.
Yeah. Yep.
Because you know what that means?
Veggie beds.
It means the next thing is veggie beds.
We do have a veggie bed plan, like of how we're going to do it. So that might be a little bit of Amanda's creation, I think.
Alright, so do you want to...
I'll start cutting.
Corey will show you what he's doing.
You start filming. Try and
get
a slow-mo of like the dust coming out of the saw and like some epic music, and you know, like I'll just go cut the wood. So I think this is number 3 on my top tools, because we had impact driver drill, and then I couldn't decide between the grinder or the circular saw. So hey, circular saw, went and bought a new blade for it, just because it'll cut the timber a lot nicer. Okay, so I got the depth of the saw dropped right down, so it'll cut through the timber all the way. I've marked my strip 30mm in with a pencil line, and I'm just going to start cutting. But I also use my finger under here as a bit of a guide. You'll see when I start cutting. So I've got my saw there on my mark. I use my finger under the, we'll call this the foot of the saw, I guess, against the wood, and I clamp it, and that kind of helps me sort of guide the saw as I'm cutting through. We'll see how we go. So now we're just going to clamp it down. Oh. Okay then. Maybe not. Hang on. Oh, there we go. That got it. Alright, so this little gap here is the width of my saw blade. And you can see I've got the mark, pencil mark, on this side of the gap there. So if I was to move it, you'd see how the blade would cut on the opposite side of the line. And then I get my finger and I put it under here and squeeze tight, and that kind of acts as like a little guide. And then we just pull the trigger and make some dust. My cut is straighter than the factory cut. So that's one. So, if you like, you can call me Rip. Did you get that?
You wish.
Yellowstone fans? Because I was ripping some strips. Rip. Anyway, so let's move the scuff up.
Yep.
Do you want to do ladder, bringing Shadecloth out? Or do you want to do scaffold, unrolling Shadecloth?
Probably be better if I go on the ladder.
Yeah, the more ladder work you do, the better for me.
Yeah. Alright, so I ladder, pull through, and we'll bring it down to... Oh my god, I haven't took a post.
Oh, it just broke. I had nothing to do with it.
Did you hit it with something?
No, I did not hit it with anything. It's just the timber. It's just cracked.
You can stick it back in.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're bringing it, the Shadecloth length down to like just past the top of that.
Past the top of that, to that gate level.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we think we're going to do a bit of timber, a timber frame coming off this level here, level through to there, and the Shadecloth will just come down to here, and then that will...
We might need a little door where you are.
Oh, that's probably a smart idea.
Across.
Yeah, timber across, Shadecloth down, so that will be about 1 metre of Shadecloth on that end, because that's west, like directly west. So this last bit of the sun is pretty harsh.
Yeah.
So if we can stop that a bit, and our plan is that passion fruit is going to be, I want to make a little frame, fence frame, that it will enable it to grow higher.
Yeah.
So to kind of give like blocking out a bit of shade as well, sun as well.
And also we've got our hedges there that will grow up. And...
Yeah. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
You get up on scaffold. I'll be on the ladder.
Move it over. Just wheel it out. And then we'll start down this end with the timber, with our strips, cut by Rip. And... What?
Go on, let's do it.
Okay, Beth Dutton, come on.
Are we going to take it down kind of the inside of this here and put it in between there and attach it on this side? Is that what we're doing?
I guess so. Yeah. Alright, shade house, 16.8 metres by 5.7 metres. White Shadecloth, 50% rated. I think that's right, 50% rated. Total full north exposure that way, and then to my left obviously is full western exposure, and the sun has just dropped behind the hill, so we are losing a little bit of light. So we finished it off with the next row here with the battens to hold it secure. We pulled it tight down the wall. Now we are going to fix this with another timber batten onto this rail, but for now we just have these packers here holding it, so we want to try and roll this up and make it neat. We don't want to cut it because we still want to have ability if we need to re-tension it down the track to still have this bit of slack in it. So our focus now is garden beds and getting them filled up with some dirt, well, you know, good dirt, to try and make the most of the autumn and coming seasons.
Alright, so that's us for, well, pretty much the Shadecloth project for now.
We'll go, when we're inside in front of the computer, we'll do like a little live, not a live, sorry, just a little video recording of us explaining the costs and what it cost to get to this stage. Yep. We will, and we'll go from there.
Cool.
Because we've kept all the receipts.
Yes.
I hope. I hope I have.
all the main ones anyway.
See you next time.
Thanks guys.
Bye.
See ya.